Good evening from Lawrence and from Allen Fieldhouse, the site of a season-opening win tonight for the Kansas Jayhawks, blowing out the Eagles of North Carolina Central 99-56. I'm Brendan Dzwierzynski. This is your Jayhawks instant reaction post-game show on the 580 Sports Talk family of social media channels, YouTube, 580 WWW, Facebook, and more. And to be frank about this game, and no disrespect meant toward NCCU at all, this was an easy one for the Kansas Jayhawks. They got out to a fast start. How about it took 23 seconds for KU to go on top in this game? That's when Hunter Dickinson, after missing his first layup, got his own rebound, put it back in. 23 seconds into the contest, KU would never relinquish the lead and was just blowing out North Carolina Central. At one point, at a media timeout in the second half, the score was even more lopsided than the final one. 70-23 was the margin for KU at one point. Jayhawks rolling in this game, thanks in large part to a few important, impressive individual efforts, but really a group shooting effort, which was a big sigh of relief, both for the KU players, probably for Bill Self and the rest of the coaching staff, and certainly for KU fans as well. After a really slow start to the year, now I know this was the first game of the regular season, but the exhibition games in Puerto Rico, the scrimmage game against Illinois a couple weeks back, and then last week against Fort Hays State in exhibition play, KU really struggling to shoot the ball. 9 of their last 40 from three-point range in those exhibition contests. Well, KU comes out tonight absolutely fantastic from beyond the arc. How about 56.5%, 56.5% on shots beyond the arc, 13 of 23, nearly 70% shooting in general. KU was able to knock down shots from all over, got whatever they wanted at the rim. And Hunter Dickinson, while he didn't finish with the most points of anyone on KU, he had probably the easiest time scoring of anyone in this contest. He had the first 7 points of this game for KU. He got him on the floor, got him laying it up, hit a couple of three-pointers. In fact, he went 3 for 3 individually from three-point range in this game. And it was very clear from the very early going in this contest, KU's not going to do a whole lot of hiding what it wants to do, especially against teams that have size mismatches like North Carolina Central did against this Kansas team. They're going to get the ball to the 7'1", 7'3", however tall you want to technically call Hunter Dickinson. They're going to try to get him the ball and try to get him easy looks underneath. And when you've got a guy like DeJuan Harris who can facilitate, and he sure did facilitate today. How about no field goal attempts, no free throws, still had 10 assists, and Bill Self called him one of the best players in the game. But when you've got a guy like that who at any point from any space in the floor is able to get your big man the ball like that, obviously a pretty big advantage for KU to have. Kevin McCullough did a great job tonight moving the ball inside as well. He finished with 5 assists, and we'll get to more on his individual performance as well. But again, KU not trying to hide anything in this early part of the season. We saw it against Fort Hays State last Wednesday. We saw it tonight against North Carolina Central. Get the ball to Hunter Dickinson as much as possible. Let him work. And there's a reason he's a former All-American, and there's a reason that Bill Self has done nothing but hype him up since he joined KU through the transfer portal this year. Now, as for Kevin McCullough, he was this game's leading scorer, 22 points in this one, 8 of 12 from the floor, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He was doing absolutely everything. An efficient night shooting. He knocked down 4 three-pointers. In fact, it was just, not counting the exhibition against Fort Hays State, it was an exhibition after all, just the second time in his entire career, now as a sixth-year college basketball player, including a redshirt year in there, just the second time he has ever made 4 three-pointers in a single game, and it's the first time since coming to Kansas at the start of last year that he was able to accomplish that feat. He's playing with a lot more confidence on the offensive end right now, and KU could use that. Kansas knows exactly what they're getting in terms of leadership, in terms of being able to bring the ball up, and certainly in terms of defense when it comes to Kevin McCullough, one of the best defenders in the country, off ball and on the ball. But to get more scoring confidence, more offensive confidence in general, the feeling that, hey, I can make a shot at any point, looking more comfortable with the stroke, the more that KU can get out of Kevin McCullough, obviously the better off that the Jayhawks are going to be this year. 3 other Jayhawks, in fact, finished, in double figures in this contest. That featured KJ Adams. He had 12 points. Nick Timberlake with a nice day today. He ended up with 13 points as the transfer. And Parker Brown, another transfer, he had 10 points. You want to talk about making an impact out of the transfer portal? Of all those guys who ended up scoring in double figures, 4 of them have transferred into this KU program over the last couple of years. That includes Hunter Dickinson, obviously, this year, Brown, Timberlake this year, and Kevin McCullough, the transfer in last year as well. So overall, great day for KU. Now, if you wanted to not say anything negative about this game, but wanted to be completely fair, when you take into account the type of opponent, the quality of opponent, the size mismatch, things like that, you can certainly argue, what did we actually learn about this KU team in this game? And frankly, I don't know that we learned anything about this KU team in this game, despite coming away with a 43-point win. The walk-ons played almost the entire final 7 to 8 minutes of the contest. The starters, the main rotation guys, they were out of the game far earlier. So what can you take away from this, though? It's positive to see the ball go in, to see your team make some shots. And it came up during postgame that not every three-pointer, not every shot, not every open look is exactly the same. When the games are tighter, when there's more stress, those can become more difficult. When you're already up by 10, 20, 30, 40 points, as Lavelle Moten, the head coach of North Carolina Central, pointed out, hey, it's a lot easier to make those shots. You might not be being guarded all that well, and there's a whole lot less stress because you're up by so much. And Bill Self said, hey, look, we're not always going to shoot like this. We're never going to have this many assists like this again. KU assisted on 21 of 22 field goals in the first half, but also referenced that it's just positive to see the ball go in. For a Nick Timberlake, he mentioned it as well. Good to see shots go in. Good for Hunter Dickinson to feel confident on those long-range shots, among others as well. So while we maybe didn't learn anything new about this KU team tonight, I do think we saw a new level of offensive confidence that we didn't see in the exhibition or the scrimmage game against Fort Hays State and Illinois, respectively. KU will be right back here at Allen Fieldhouse coming up on Friday when the Jayhawks take on the Jaspers of Manhattan. Yes, bringing in not the Manhattan that's just down the road here in Kansas, but from all the way out on the East Coast, from Binghamton, New York. The Jaspers will be here Friday night, 7 o'clock tip-off from Allen Fieldhouse. That game will also be televised on ESPN+. Of course, we'll be recapping this game in full, plus all the other action from around college basketball tonight, including the Kansas State Wildcats. They're in action this evening against USC in Las Vegas. We'll get to it all coming up on 580 Sports Talk Tuesday. This is Monday already. Tuesday from 2 until 6 on 580 WIBW and on the 580 Sports Talk YouTube channel. But until then, this is Brendan Dzwierzynski signing off on our Jayhawks Instant Reaction postgame show. The Kansas Jayhawks blow out the North Carolina Central Eagles 99-56 to open the college basketball season. We will talk to you guys coming up on Tuesday afternoon.